Hey, look at me! I'm standing up next to a sarcophagus. Actually, this is Samanra. He helps out around Halloween. Mommy! I'm going to put green lights in his eyes. Actually, I probably just need a whole better mummy. Yeah, I'm a resident mummy. Okay, you talked about the T-shirts. And you said you don't want to have people having a preconceived notion about you when you talk to them. Well, that's good sometimes, but I think sometimes you can skip a lot of the conversation or even initiate a conversation depending on your shirt. So you don't really have to... So somebody can come to you and say, oh, that's an interesting shirt like Legos, perhaps furries. Saying that you're single, you know you'll want me. Or salad fingers. I like it when the red water comes out. I like it when the red water comes out. Yeah, salad fingers. So somebody could say, oh, well, that's interesting, and they could start a conversation with you and maybe learn something else. As far as Jesus shirts, if I saw somebody with a Jesus shirt, I probably wouldn't think much of it. I mean, it's fairly common around here. I wouldn't say, oh my goodness, you believe in Jesus? How can that be? I'd pretty much assume it. If they said, I believe in Allah, then I'd say, oh my goodness, how can that be? But, I mean, if they did have that kind of shirt, I'd probably be more likely to talk to them than if they didn't have, I guess if they had a Jewish shirt, I probably wouldn't say much, but if it was something other than Judaism or Christianity, then it'd be more likely to start a conversation rather than to prevent one. Or if you had something cool like Gunblade, when somebody wouldn't say, "Oh my goodness, you have a Gunblade! You're one of those video game playing people," or you have a glaive. You know, what are you, some British sci-fi, fantasy, film-loving person? Those aren't easy to come by. You got to put your hand into some boiling lava to get those. Okay, your question of me was, what was my motivation for making these videos? Primarily, it's so that I can give a better speech. So I won't say all the time and won't have strange mannerisms and looking around and being all nervous. So I can stand up and present some coherent thoughts, perhaps, without even having a script to read. So that's my primary reason. For my job, I actually have to write some papers and present them sometimes. So I thought it'd be better to be prepared. Everybody said I was really excited for my last one, but actually it's probably just because I was completely nervous, even though it was a small crowd, and it really didn't have any effect on anything. It was good practice, though, certainly for writing the paper. But for giving speeches, I thought this would be great practice. Now you say, you would like for me to become a Christian? Well, I would like for you to become an atheist. And I'm not going to try to convert you. I don't think it's possible for everybody else, for all the other Christians out there. There's hardly any argument to make against any religion, really. I mean, you can say it's illogical, but then they'll just say, well, God works in mysterious ways, or whatever God they believe in. So that's really not my reason is to convert anybody. But if somebody is thinking about being converted, then I want to be a friendly face, and so people can come to me and ask me questions or say, how did you get through this, or what would your advice be? Or if they're coming out of the closet, if they're homosexual, maybe they can ask me questions. But especially if they're atheist, I think the more friendly atheists there are out there, the easier it will be for people to question their beliefs. So my purpose is not to convert anybody, but to allow anybody to be converted more easily. So anyway, that's my motivations. Now, I've read your blogs and I've watched your Debating Jesus video. And you asked, do we search for the truth? You say, if God was to come to me, would I believe in Him? Well, yeah, if He walked on water or oh, wait a minute. or had a staff he turned into a snake, then would I believe? Well, it really wouldn't take too much. Throwing a snake on the ground, a staff on the ground, and turning into a snake. I'd pretty much believe, if you flew down a flying horse or something with wings, it wouldn't take much. Considering I really don't believe in it, but I'll look for it all the time. People say, well, I've got proof of magic, or proof of this, or proof of that, then certainly I say, well, show it to me. You even say that you have proof. Although I am really skeptical, I think you just mean that you hear voices or something similar to that, or you say you don't even have a feeling, because that's kind of physical. So you have proof in the spiritual world. Yeah, I don't think that's a very good argument. And if that is your proof, certainly that's what you talk about a lot in your Debating Jesus video. You say you don't logically come to the conclusion that there is a God, but you feel that Jesus is there. And you feel Jesus because you know it's Jesus, because you would know otherwise if it wasn't. And that has to be the worst argument for Christianity I've ever heard. But it's the best argument, because that's basically what it boils down to, is I believe in Jesus because I feel Jesus. I feel that Jesus is God. I feel that Jesus is around me. Not because He told me to do something and it was true. He predicted the future, or told me to go meet somebody on a street corner wearing this shirt at a certain time, and sure enough, the person was there. It's never like this. And for people that see Jesus, see the Virgin Mary, that see some angels that are Muslim, they see the angels, and I must say I'm very skeptical of that. I think it's almost crazy to believe people when they say that. I was abducted by aliens and I saw them. Yeah, bring some proof. I guess I'm just too skeptical to believe all that. But basically your argument boils down to, I feel Jesus. And that confirms what every atheist thinks, and that it's just in your head. The entire religion, Jesus, everything is just in your head. Of course, it's a collective delusion. Everybody thinks that Jesus is around them. So if you talk to somebody, oh, well, Jesus talked to me. Oh, Jesus talked to me too. So it seems like it is out of your head, but you're both having the same idea of an imaginary friend. That's why Foster's would be filled with Jesuses, because everybody has a Jesus. It's not the same Jesus. Everybody just thinks it's the same Jesus outside of their head. But no, He really doesn't do anything out in the real world. Now, of course, you believe that He does have the power to, and you say, your answer to the question of why doesn't He show up, because He certainly can show up, but you don't know why He doesn't. Well, obviously it's better that He doesn't reveal Himself, that He hides. But if He did show up for me, yeah, sure, I'd believe it. I'd be kind of angry. Why didn't you show up earlier? Anybody that has magical powers. People say, well, I have magic and I can cast spells and things. And I say, show me. And they never can. But if they ever did, I'd be pretty mad that they didn't provide proof sooner. So I certainly have that question to Jesus. Why didn't you tell me before this? Why wait? What good did that do? I could be spreading the news. Maybe He doesn't want people to know. That's the only conclusion I can come. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you can come to any other conclusion than that. He wants to hide. He doesn't want people to know. That seems odd. But anyway, He can't do this logically. Oh, this is going to be a long video.